Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's the Watch Party.
We're here to do it with our imaginary friend, Mark L. Bader.
Mark L. Baker did not make it this morning, but he'll be back for the night session.
We hope so.
Not everybody can party for 6 straight sessions, but you know who can? Andrew Spay and me.
Yeah, it's assuming we make it to 6. We're only at 5 right now.
We are at 5. This is going to be a great session for us. We're going to have the Consi semis, followed by 7th, 5th, and 3rd place matches. A lot of team points up for grabs here.
This is where like the jockeying for positioning happens. Usually by the finals, most things are all figured out. The team race, we can pull up the team race.
Yep.
That is Instagram. This is our team scores.
We got a lot of great Instagram stuff that we can pull into throughout this session
Yeah.
because, man, our guys on the ground, they're in Cleveland capturing so many incredible moments.
Yeah, it's great that we could be here partying with you guys. We hope you're partying. This is if you were to nickname the sessions, like the tipsy session and the celebrated dog bone configuration. That was yesterday. That was That was the blood round in the semis. This is the hangover session because it's Saturday morning, and a lot of people in Cleveland were enjoying themselves. They were, not the wrestlers that still have to wrestle today, but all of the fans that got to see all that emotion for Friday night. So. This is kind of like ease back into things, but we're at 100%. We're smooth sailing here.
By the way, we got a lot of people in the chat, Spay, just saying good morning, good morning. You can imagine it. You're at the donut shop. It's an early Saturday morning, shaking hands. Good morning, good morning. And you know who's in the chat?
Sion?
Mark L. Bader.
Mark L. Bader.
Mark Bader. He's on dad duty this morning.
You got the K-pop Demon Hunters on repeat.
He's taking this round in from the chat, but with us in not only spirit, but digitally in the chat.
An electronic missive form.
Yep. Man, I got caught, Spay, last night.
Uh-oh.
And,
This is not a Southern scuffle type getting caught.
that was the worst. No, this is much better than that.
You were clothed?
No, I got caught in the cycle of there's always more stuff you can do when you're covering this tournament.
Yes.
And so I got home last night, posted like the last like vertical video, on social. Oh, cool highlight, whatever. And then I'm like, oh wait, we got these press conferences with the semifinalists, and just started splicing those together up, and you get caught, and then it's like, wait a minute, it's 2 a.m. I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, you can try to go to sleep, but then you're just so pumped because this is like 3 Christmases in a row.
Yeah.
And we have our 3rd Christmas happening right now.
There we go. So yeah, I'm excited. Just so much to take in for this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, from the team score point, the team point score.
Yeah, what happened there?
Team race wise. Keeping track of this, so Penn State has it wrapped up. Mathematically, I think Oklahoma State could technically win.
Yeah.
But I think every Oklahoma State guy has to win every match, and every Penn State guy has to lose every match. Doubtful that that's going to happen. The real question is Penn State has 153. If you look at the leaderboard, you know what the record is?
178?
That's what they got to get. It's 177.
177.
Yeah.
Okay.
So will they? All right, wrestling has just begun. This is the Consi semis now.
Now, I'll tell you this, Spay. When I was filling out my brackets, there is a great interactive spreadsheet, and I was trying to indicate where I thought Penn State was going to get bonus. I had them scoring 183 before this tournament.
Yeah.
Now, there were a few things that went against my bracket. I had PJ Duke winning. So that didn't happen. Obviously, he's in the consolations, but
Yeah, that's a match we can talk about.
we can talk about. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a real opportunity for Penn State to break this record for the 3rd straight time.
Yeah. Well, especially because when you consider, 3 years in a row, just like Angelo went when he got that takedown in the quarters against Aiden Sinclair.
By the way, sorry to jump
out.
the line. He's out.
Yeah, there's been a couple medical forfeits already. Guys needing surgery. I mean, they're showing up to this tournament bandaged up and probably should be getting surgery, but there's only one tournament a year, so you got to give it all you got.
We got an NCAA Finals rematch on the mat right now. Troy Spratley, Vincent Robinson.
Yeah.
Robinson was 3-0 against Spratley until yesterday.
You brought up that stat.
2 days ago.
Right.
That was a round of 16 match.
And that was, Vincent Robinson has only lost to Eddie Van Treska until this tournament. And he had only beaten somebody until he lost. Who did he lose to? Oh, Spratley.
Spratley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they got another rematch here. This happens. Knox and Blaze. How come the other mats aren't going?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe there's a forfeit or something. Or maybe that Seidel Ayala needs to be refreshed.
But we'll see.
Well,
see what happens here.
not super important. But yeah, guys are all banged up, and they come up to the tournament, and sometimes they reach the All-American status, and you go, is it worth it right now to, Echemendia is also medically forfeited out. Angelo Ferrari medical forfeited out. I'm sure there'll be some others that we'll find out. But to go from 6th to 3rd, is it worth doing even more damage to your body? Because there's a timeline for getting back. I mean, their goals are not just this tournament. It is a long career, and they're both young guys.
Well, yeah, and some young guys are, they're so hurt, they probably shouldn't be competing at all.
Exactly.
But, all right, we're going to try it, and that's what you get.
Yeah, and Nico Provo, who's been wrestling out of his mind, is up 3-1 on Jacob Moran, who's also wrestling out of his mind.
Yeah, the 14 seed.
The 14 versus the 7. The 125 had a lot of people that did not All-American that were seeded to All-American. You can bring that up. But let's finish our team race talk. Oklahoma State. David Taylor, the Magic Man, has gotten Oklahoma State up to number 2. Getting Jax Force out of high school turned out to be the right move. You can't argue against it now, especially not. It's not like, well, he got lucky in some matches. No, he's been trashing people on the way to the finals. He majored Aaron Seidel, who gave him a 1-point match earlier this season.
Yeah.
So they're technically still in the race, but really it's just they want to lock up 2nd place, which they haven't quite done yet. Nebraska last year was not a fluke. They got guys like Chance Lamer, the 20 seed, All-Americaning for the first time. Nebraska doing very well. Kudos to Coach Manning, Coach Snyder, Tervel Delagnev. Who else is still there? Is Chad Red still with them, or did he?
Indiana.
And he's with Indiana. Yeah, because he's from Indiana.
Yep.
All right, anyway, we'll figure out the rest of the staff there, but kudos to them. Iowa, a lot of people really down in Iowa, especially after Big Tens.
Man, look at Seidel.
Seidel and Ayala.
Wow.
How pumped was Ayala to beat Lucas Bird?
Dude, that's huge. I mean, that is like, you think about this tournament and you're like, oh, wow, who cares? You win in a consolation match. It's like, dude, that's an NCAA finals rematch.
Yep.
That's a guy that's beat you. He pinned you in the Big Ten finals last year. He beat you in the NCAA finals. You get that win, you're pumped.
Yeah. And
doesn't matter where.
It's the last time you're going to get him in an NCAA singlet. Like, you're never going to get another shot at him when it matters on the NCAA level.
Yep.
And, yeah, you're thinking about that match. It's an NCAA finals match. It's impossible not to think about it, use it as motivation. I'm sure his coaches bring it up in practice. I'm sure they don't even need to. And, yeah, now this is for placement. So they got to figure out, all these wrestlers have to figure out a way to motivate themselves one more time. They had a whole nother weigh-in. This is at the end of, they've already wrestled at least 4 matches or so.
Yeah.
Their bodies are telling them you need to, chill out, but they got to keep going. And we still have another clock tower blocking all the action there.
By the way, we got a comment in the chat from Pocket Priorities.
Okay, I know those priorities.
The Pocket Priorities account believes the crowd, meaning our YouTube viewers, would appreciate if we switch to the tiles.
You want tiles? Okay, well, that's the rest of these scores. Pretty good job. Wyoming, good job. Shout out Wyoming. Columbia.
Dude, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
I think we mentioned it before, but finishing top 10 at this tournament gives you an automatic invitation to the National Duels Invitational. So, yeah, cracking into that top 10 is going to be big. Somebody like Wyoming, if they can do that, if they have a great session here, I don't know if they can crack the top 10, but that'd be big for them.
Yeah, we'll get our friends in Cliff Keene a little love there on the screen.
Man, I appreciate our Cliff Keene friends.
Yeah,
we got all this cool Cliff Keene gear. Also, they're sponsoring this show, helping make this possible.
Right. We wouldn't be able to be here hanging out on a Saturday morning. And look, you can have this is the weekend where you need like 1 million screens.
Yep.
In your living room, in your man cave, in your garage.
Yep.
Just have
or woman cave.
Or what man or woman cave.
Or woman cave.
Maybe steal all your family members' phones and just set them up and be like, I need these for my multiple screen experience.
Maybe you Larry steal those phones. You go in the bathroom in the hotel.
Classic Larry steal. Steal away from your family. You say vacation's good and all, but I need this time.
Yeah, you're like, guys, I'm sorry, I just have a bathroom situation.
We have a situation going on.
I'm gonna be in here for the next 4 hours watching wrestling.
Occupied. But we appreciate you watching us and hanging out with us. And you can also watch this on, this is on ESPN Plus. I don't believe it's on cable, although it might be. You got to consult ESPN. Sometimes they change things up. And there's all the basketball and stuff, which I know most people are still filling out brackets. I didn't fill out a bracket this year, but
Wait, I thought you did, and it was perfect. So
I did. I didn't fill out another bracket. An additional
after,
bracket.
yeah, okay.
I filled out the perfect one, but then there's the other brackets.
By the way, if anybody had questions about this freshman class at 133, it's like you got the NCAA finalists, Bird and Ayala. They were in the finals last year. Aaron Seidel up 8-0 in the third period over Drake Ayala. That is insane.
Not bad.
Insane. And Marcus Blaze, another freshman, up 9-2 against Tyler Knox. I cannot wait for that third place match, by the way.
It's going to be awesome.
Blaze, Seidel. I mean, they both got to finish the matches, but by the way, Blaze up 9-2. That's in the first period.
Yeah. If you're looking at the tiles, you're kind of peering into the future, which
I am not peering into the future.
Well, that's the thing about next gen, which I don't think people realize, but it's actually real time. Whereas before on track wrestling or arena, it was like every 10, 15 seconds, your tile would update.
Yeah.
But now we've got new technology. I know people still prefer track wrestling or arena because that's what they're used to, and there's a couple different functions that we're working on bringing over. But next gen already has some improvements that did not exist in the past.
What's your favorite function?
Conjunction junction. What's your function?
I'll tell you this. This has nothing to do with it. But I had a statistics class in high school.
Oh, like which kind of function?
And we had they were talking about functions. And we had a teacher. She was really, really good. Her name was Miss Bruce.
Okay.
She was like legendary teacher.
Miss Bruce Lee.
Miss Bruce was awesome. And I can't remember what the function was, but she thought it was so cool. She called it the mother function. And we all felt like in high school, we just thought
couldn't wait. This is why this is the punchy session because it's going to go on tangent.
In high school, we thought that was so. We were like, I cannot tell you how many times we said mother function. We thought it was
probably
so
all the time.
All the time.
You got like a C on your test. You're like mother function.
Yep, it was. Yep, that's what happened. What happened there.
Okay, Provo moves on. He will wrestle for third, and Jacob Moran will wrestle for fifth. That's what these matches determine. 1-1. Oh, we're in OT. Spratley v. Rob.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is a big one.
Seidel still manhandling Ayala.
Dang, dude. Yeah, you watched Jax text. He didn't text him.
He may have texted him. I said, hey, bro, good match.
He teched Ayala, and now you see Seidel trying to do the same thing. Man.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you go, I mean, it's all the what ifs and the injuries have been tragic, but Crookham was the highest returning placer from 2 years ago. Last year, missed the whole year. This year, came back for a little bit, going to have to miss it again. The best time to wrestle is like right now for the NCAAs. There's no waiting. I mean, it never has been that way, but no weights ever clear out and stay cleared out.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're weaker, sometimes they go up and down. But if you're counting on like there not being a new crop every year, that's the bad way to do it.
Yeah,
not that Crookham was. It's you think about it and you go like, oh man, like wish we could have seen him in the mix last year, of course, and then I wish we could have seen him in the mix this year because it's just going to get gnarlier and gnarlier.
There are times where you feel like you get that that war of attrition and all right, I couldn't place, but now I can, and it's like, it just feels like this is not the time for that. And man, this Cannon Waters match is nuts over here at 157.
Yeah, they're going at it immediately.
We haven't done this much yet, Spay, but I wonder if we should pull in any of our Instagram clips.
Yeah, I got the Instagram page right here.
We could hear from guys like Jax Forrest after last night's semifinal. We could pull in some audio clips.
Content. This is crazy.
Dude, the content's going nuts.
Where's Jax?
You got to scroll down a little bit because
we've been posting like madmen.
Yeah, we've been posting.
Absolute maniacs.
Get on down there.
There's
Jax Forrest.
Oh, look, you can tell the hair now.
Yeah, coming off the mat. I don't know if you want to unmute that volume. Let people know.
Wrestle tomorrow morning, get to Wayne, and then just relax and watch my buddies wrestle until it's my time at night. Feels good. I mean, 4/5 of the way, so that feels good.
Yeah, 4/5 of the way.
Off my back.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, that's Jax Forrest.
Yeah, we got Jax Forrest. Great stuff. By the way, we're still in overtime with Robinson and Spratley. classic NCAA finals rematch in the Consi semis. That also happened in the round of 16. Unreal. This tournament.
Blaze has since, if you peered into the future like I did, he's about to tech smash Tyler Knox, one of 2 Massachusetts homestaters.
And we learned that their preferred nomenclature is
Massachusetts. Massachusettsians.
There was another one.
So the other one, you thought that this guy was saying, actually, we prefer to be called massholes.
That's what he said in the chat.
But he didn't say we. He said, I always just called them massholes.
That was on me.
Which is like, if you're from the Northeast, you've heard that before.
All right. That was on me. That was my bad.
That was a derogatory term. What do they call people from wherever that don't like Coloradans? What's Colorado's biggest?
I've never met anybody that doesn't like Coloradans.
It's too big of a state.
I've never
you don't have little cross-state rivalry.
We got no haters.
Northeast.
No, everybody loves us.
New Mexico, I bet, hates you guys.
Everybody loves us.
What does New Mexico think of Colorado?
They think it's awesome. They're like, this is what we want to be. This is what we aspire to be.
Which is the one right below Colorado? Is it New Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wyoming people love Coloradans. Nah, they don't.
Yeah, Wyoming's like the real cowboys. We live on the range. The Coloradoans live in their minivans and their soccer practices.
Hey, you want to hear a Wyoming sentiment? You should pull in the Christian Carroll clip we posted.
Yeah, let's do
You know what he said? Here, pull it in.
Pull it in. Don't spoil it.
I love Wyoming. Wyoming's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to tell you. I really do love it.
Well, because you were born and raised there.
Yeah. I was not born there or raised there, but I did live there for 8 years in Laramie, Wyoming. And you're going to see Christian Carroll. Dude, what do you, Spade, what do you think Christian Carroll said about Wyoming?
I think he said it's home. He said that to me before. Okay.
Even better. You got to unmute it.
Christian Carroll, you're an All-American. Talk about the emotions you're feeling right now. Long road to get to here, a couple schools. You found the right spot, and you wind up an All-American.
Yeah. Just trusting in God. I think I've been up and down through the valleys. Even in the beginning of the tournament, right there, I was so good. I just wasn't trusting God, wasn't letting it go, letting it fly. And ultimately, I would not be here without God. I didn't even place the Big 12 tournament. Now I'm at two All-American. So I just praise the Lord to Jesus. And that's it. Keep my mind straight. I had the best coaches in the world. And when I was in the transfer portal, I have guys like Coach Ford that had belief in me before I even had belief in myself. It means a lot to have that surrounding, that support from my coaches that I didn't even have the belief in me, but they still did. So it just means a lot.
You're on the focus a little bit, that match, that late takedown you were able to get. You were down. He got the takedown early on you, right?
Yeah.
You had to get a score. Talk me through that final takedown.
I just knew I had to set something up and go. I knew he was gassing. That's one thing about being the smallest heavyweight in the country. You can keep going, at 5'10". People think he'd be All-American, but size doesn't matter. Bigger they are, in my opinion, softer they are. They can't run as much as me. They can't grind as much as me. They don't have the mobility or the speed, so I'm just thankful for the Lord.
And then that final sequence got a little hairy there at the end. What were you feeling there as they were reviewing that sequence?
I was telling myself, God, I'm winning this match. So don't take it from me, Lord. I'm going to win this match and represent you. I'm going to get this job done, and this is mine. I was so confident that nothing was taking this match away from me. And I believed and gave everything I got. So.
Anything else you want to say? I know you have another match here tonight.
Here we go.
A lot of people have been following your journey for a while.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. I mean, last year I was leaving a school mid-semester, and I didn't finish the season, so a lot of things have changed since then, obviously, so it's just crazy. I'm in the right spot. This is where God wants me. I'm going to die in Wyoming.
You hear that? I'm going to die in Wyoming, Spade. He said, I'm going to die in Wyoming.
What a great interview. That was great.
I've never thought about where I'm going to die, ever.
Yeah?
What state? We'll see. Crazy stuff. Anyway, by the way, in this rematch, there was a challenge. Vincent Robinson was awarded a reversal, and now, right now, it's signal for an escape. 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 Right now, it's sign
All right, I got to change my audio so that it goes through HDMI. I see Black Magic. I see. Okay, output.
Some people didn't want to hear all of that from Christian Carroll. Well, I did, so that was on me.
All right, let me try to play another clip and see if that comes through. Sorry if it
All right,
was a little messy.
We got Robinson. He did end up getting that reversal in the tiebreakers, and so now Spratley going to go underneath. These guys ultra competitive throughout their careers.
What clip would you like to play? About a little Spratley?
All right, check this out. What did you guys think about this PJ Duke, Landon Robidoux semifinal last night?
Yeah,
Was that a takedown or not? I think the general consensus coming out of that semifinal was that they called it too soon.
Yes, 100%.
It's not that Duke had the takedown. It's that he had the cradle locked, needed more time to work, and they didn't give it to him. And
I mean, I think he had the takedown, but if you
think he had it? I don't think he had it.
I think you bust him to his hip and then you make him react. That's reaction time. But the way they've been calling things, like, it's not the biggest travesty that they took away the takedown. The travesty is that they did it in sudden victory after making PJ Duke stop wrestling and awarding him the takedown.
Yeah. By the way, we got a challenge over here between the Brandon Cannon-Ty Waters match. Spratley's out. He's down 3-2. Short time. And it looks like Vincent Robinson going to hold on. Going to get back on the winning side of things against Spratley. He's going to send him to the 5th place match. Robinson going to finish top 4 in the country with a 12 seed.
12 seed, not bad. I mean, that's a returning national champ, so it's not like it's a shocker in any way. Thumbs down to somebody. There might be a lot of Oklahoma State fans in the building. I'm not sure. I mean, I know there's probably a lot of Oklahoma State fans in the building. But I'm not sure who he was actually thumbs downing to.
Yeah. It seemed like it might have been kind of like an inside signal to, hey.
Yeah. And we're still working on the audio, by the way. We might have to get some help in here.
Good news is I have our audio in my ear, so I'm hearing a lot of echo. So I got plenty of audio.
You have doubles.
I got lots of audio. Brandon Cannon up 8-5 over Ty Waters in this Consi semi. And Brandon Cannon, a guy that a lot of people kind of wrote off, he was hurt. He started the year really, really strong, seemed hurt, and now trying to push for this 3rd place match.
Well, it makes it so hard to pick, guys in the for your brackets or for your fantasy teams. When guys are injured and they don't wrestle much in the Big Ten or in your championship tournament, you think you get a little echo still?
Do I? No, I'm good.
Okay. And you go, okay, well, I guess they're hurt. I'm gonna, not pick them or pick them to finish lower. And then they go out and they, outdo their seed like Brandon Cannon's gonna do or whatever. And then there is guys that are hurt, and then they have to medical forfeit out to 6, and maybe it gets exacerbated or hurt worse or new injury. But anyway,
one of the really frustrating things, if you're like a fan of Brandon Cannon, is.
Brand Can fan.
If you're a Brand Can fan, you see this guy having so much success, faced some adversity. Now he's in the Consi semis, going to place top 4. Mm-hmm. But your fantasy spreadsheet says he's only scoring 2 points. I mean, that is just, it infuriates you.
It's because we don't really have a real commissioner. We have a guy that said he was going to be the commissioner, and he's just completely falling down on the job. Yeah, and you can only get so mad at him because, like, when this person who will remain unnamed said he was going to be the commissioner, you're like, and we're allowing this, and we're signing up for this?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, pretty frustrating. Anyway, that's a joke. But, hey, Lockley McNeil, Consi semis, he's leading Ryder Block 6-3.
And, there's a lot of debate about, NILs, that doesn't really work. You see guys, they take the money, and then they're not motivated, and et cetera. And I don't think it's necessarily true all the time. Look at Lockley McNeil. There's evidence on both sides. Mm-hmm. I think fans are going to get, fixated on, and rightly so, their own team. Yeah. And they'll say, well, we overpaid or all this. And I go, look, you guys did the best you could. The team did with what the resources they had and the guys available. And then sometimes it pans out and sometimes it doesn't. It's certainly sometimes you need a change of scenery. Maybe Lachlan McNeil was a 2-time All-American in North Carolina, but felt he was missing something. Comes to Michigan. They've been active in the portal for a long time. It works pretty well for Michigan.
Yeah.
Jacob Cardenas did really well from the portal. Tega Dally is going to do really well from the portal.
Chance Lamer right now winning in the Consi semis. He's from the portal a couple times.
He's a 2-time portalman.
Yep.
And first-time All-American, so it works for Nebraska.
Yep. By the way, a little bit of, comments in the chat. Somebody confused V-Rob hugging Spratley, then mocking him from yesterday. Odd combination. I don't know that he mocked him.
No, I didn't see him mocking.
He was celebrating the win.
He was looking into the crowd. He wasn't looking at Spratley.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right. Third period. Cannon and Waters. Cannon in on the leg. He's on top, so that's going to be a drop-down stall unless he lets go. He does let go, and it's going to be an escape for Ty Waters. 40 seconds to go in that one. Chance Lamer gets the win in the Consi semis. You know what I was thinking about yesterday, Spay?
Tell me.
Thinking about the portal.
You've been thinking about the portal.
A lot of Iowa haters are constantly like,
Iowa's got haters?
I just found out they do.
Yeah, okay. So that made you think a lot.
A lot of the Iowa haters, they think about Iowa. They're Portal U. They call them Porthole University.
Porthole.
Yeah. Iowa has 7 All-Americans.
Yeah.
Their All-Americans are Drake Gaiella, 133, not a transfer.
Homegrown. He's an Iowa, born and bred.
Ryder Block, 149.
He's an Iowan.
Caliendo, 165. He did transfer. A little bit unique circumstances after North Dakota State lost their head coach.
And he had 2 years, redshirt, and then a freshman year.
Yeah, so he's been at, this is his 3rd year at Iowa. 174, Patrick Kennedy, recruited by Iowa.
Yeah.
184, Angelo Ferrari, recruited by Iowa. 197, Gabe Arnold, recruited by Iowa. And heavyweight, Ben Keeter, from Iowa, recruited by Iowa. So, yeah, they had some transfers, right? But you look at their All-Americans, 6 of the 7 were guys that were not transfers. They started their careers at Iowa City. So, interesting. And they're going to finish a lot higher than a lot of people picked them.
Yeah. So Penn State's going to have more transfers that All-American form. Rocco and Mitchell.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
Ohio State, California B. Yeah.
Iowa also with some local Iowans. I mean, they recruit nationally just like all the top teams do, but between Ayala, learn that's how you pronounce it.
Block. Keeter.
Yeah. Gabe Arnold spent 1 year in Iowa City, but
that's true. Graduated from Iowa City High School.
Yeah.
That was the real transfer portal. Was the Wyoming. Well, I mean, he went to Wyoming Sem, so he's from Georgia, but he went to Wyoming Sem, then transferred to Iowa City High School. So that's the real transfer portal. Is Iowa City High? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Lachlan McNeil will wrestle for 3rd place. Block will wrestle for 5th. Luke Stanich, one of the feel-good stories, one of the underdog stories, the guys you want to root for, easy to root for, is Carter Nagel, 18th seed, one of the lowest seeds to All-American, and it is first time on the podium as a – wait, no, he's not a senior. No, he's not. But Carter Nagel from Air Force, the 18th seed.
Yeah, I mentioned last night, pretty excited to see the success that Carter Nagel's having. One of my, one of the guys from my wrestling network growing up, Chris Heilman, he wrestled. I went to Colorado Springs Christian School in Colorado Springs. He went to St. Mary's. They were our crosstown rivals.
And then where did you go to college, both of you?
I went to Northwestern.
You went to Northwestern, and where did he go?
College. I went to Northwestern College. He went to Cornell.
So a Cornell and a Northwestern grad?
That's right.
You guys must just be like,
yeah.
Good thing the wrestling world has you, and you're not out there curing cancer or you're solving the hardest math problem in the world.
That's true. Yep. Very cool though. I texted Chris. He said. I said, hey, congrats, Nagel. He looks great. He said, blow him up for us, FloWrestling. And we did. We were able to get a...
Let's blow him up.
We were able to blow him up. We tried, but he's at the Air Force, so...
Let's drone strike. Oh, he'll drone strike us.
No, we got a great clip of Nagel coming off the mat. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, all right, I'm going to go look up well, first, because I was curious, I'm going to look up everyone at 125 that didn't All-American, that were seeded to All-American, because... I think there was a lot. And this is, the NCAA tournament is great, but it's also a time where a lot of fans get down in the dumps. They get a little dejected. They have high hopes, and that's good, and that's fun for the sport. But look at the wasteland of 125. What were we going to point out?
I just think that a lot of Minnesota fans right now are pretty frustrated because they're like watching this match and they're like, Alvin!
Caesar Alvin
up 3-0.
Alvin doesn't even need Simon or Theodore to help him out.
Yeah, yep.
Sparks, both of those guys are great stories. Alvin could be the mayor of Cleveland. Sparks could be the mayor of Cleveland. It's all about who does cool moves in this round, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we're looking for the coolest move of the Hangover session. But look at these guys. Eddie Ventresca, ranked second, seeded second, DNP. Nick Bouzakis, ranked fifth, seeded third, didn't make it to the blood round. Sheldon Seymour, ranked third, seeded fourth, blood round. Dean Peterson, looked great, was so close to making the semifinals.
Yeah.
Then lost his next two, DNP. He's a 8 seed, ranked ninth. So that is 5 guys at 125 that DNP'd.
By the way, this Penn State team score going to be important throughout the day. 178 is the mark to hit to break the record.
That's correct.
They're at 158. Each finals win worth 4 points, so that's important. But also, PJ Duke wrestling here. He's up 3-1 in the Consi semi against Cannon Webster. Are these 2.5? Is that right?
You get a half a point for an advancement, and you go from
6th to 4th.
Yeah, which is
that 2.5 or 3.5? I can't remember.
I can look that up real quick. Okay, from 6 to 4.
Poof, PJ Duke.
6 is 9. 4 is 12.5. So 3.5 on placement and advancement. Yeah, 2.5 advance placement.
Yeah, so Penn State, if PJ wins this match, they're going to be at 161.5. If he gets a bonus point, even more. So we'll see. He's up 6-2 in the second period. Cannon, really tough to score on, but man, PJ Duke is a bonus point machine.
He absolutely is. When he is wrestling in high gear on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders, he hits you with so many different attacks that he just overwhelms his opponents, and the points just start adding up.
Spay, I got a question for you.
Lay it on me.
It's not my question.
Someone else's?
It's from Pocket Priorities.
Yes.
What would be the biggest upset in the finals? Think about all 10 weights.
Okay. Let me. Yep.
What would be the biggest upset?
Let's look at these matchups. Okay. M.A. McGowan over Luke Littleall.
That'd be big.
That right off the bat. Forrest Divino, no. Mendez, Vega. That'd be big, but no. Vega's undefeated, and he's ranked second. Aiden Valencia, Shane Van Ness, not as big as McGowan.
Dude, I don't know. If Aiden Valencia beats Shane Van Ness.
Aiden Valencia's already beaten Real Woods twice. I know it's freestyle.
Yeah.
I know Aiden Valencia has that potential. I haven't seen McGowan do something like that. Not that he can't.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still with you.
It's up there.
I'm still with you.
It'd be
McGowan.
10 over 1. So
I'll take McGowan. I think it's close, but I'll take McGowan would be the bigger upset.
Yeah. And also, if you go by rankings, Valencia's ranked 5th, not seeded 10th, and McGowan is ranked 13th.
Okay.
Robideau over Taylor.
Nah.
Caliendo over Messenbrink would be up there, even though it's a 1-2.
Yeah.
Messenbrink has owned that series. He's beaten him by a ton. Has he ever teched him? I know he's majored him.
I think he might have teched him, yeah.
Yeah. So that would, even though that's way closer in rankings and score, that would be up there.
Yeah.
Haynes Minto, they had a close match this year. So McAnally Welsh, no. Merrill over Barr would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
That'd be pretty. So those are the top 3 to me is Caliendo, Messenbrink, Merrill Barr, and McGowan Lillidahl.
If I got to make a call, I think it's McGowan. I think McGowan over Lillidahl, probably a bigger upset.
He was the biggest surprise to make the finals.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Although,
it's 125.
What would I be more likely to predict? McGowan winning or Caliendo winning? What percent would I put on it? I don't know. Maybe it is Caliendo.
Could be Caliendo or Merrill. What odds are you giving Merrill to win?
Yeah, man. All right, man.
Yeah, those three would all be just massive.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. You know what? We got to chat for a reason.
Chat it up.
I'm gonna put a poll in here.
Chat it up with our friends. We'll go around the horn here. We got Blaze on the mat. It's the Boilermaker Talisman. His brother just got off the mat, Marcus. Nico Ruiz, Joey Blaze. Ooh, that leg is all messed up. All right, good. That's a good, potentially dangerous. That's not the thing where you're defending a single leg and then you turn and put your knee joint in this weird position and the refs are like, oh, that looks bad. That's potentially dangerous. Like, well, don't put your knee in that position. Mm-hmm. But that's a whole nother story. Mm-hmm. All right, so Ruiz up 1-0 in the third, but that's just an escape point. Alvin has the one takedown over Sparks.
Yeah,
both of those guys
Sparks fans are like, Alvin.
every time. He's going to have another match. Both Sparks and Alvin are first-time All-Americans and are seniors. Mm-hmm. So we love that. Easy to root for guys, especially Alvin coming from a non-power program. Ivy Leagues, they do have a lot of resources at their disposal, but it's a different game in the Ivy.
Yeah, the resources are sort of directed a different way. Like, it's like, get these guys tuition covered, make sure they're like set up for their careers. Like, they're not thinking just about the wrestling.
Yeah, their dining halls look like palaces.
I was listening to Rocco Welsh last night after the semifinals, and he's talking about the resources at Penn State, and it's like he's like talking about partners. He's like, yeah, we got all these guys on the team; they're great. Then I look over here, there's Kyle Dake. Now I'm wrestling Kyle Snyder. Now it's like they think about resources differently. You can spend a bunch of money on the dining hall. You can spend it on scholarships, like, financial aid, whatever, or you can give an Olympic gold medalist salary, So,
yeah. Well, and Ivy Leagues can, so what you're really paying for with the Ivy Leagues, is a little bit of a tangent, is your network, is the people that you're going to get connected with, that you're going to be exposed to, that you're going to be able to learn from, those type of things. And that is post-wrestling. That is, throughout your life. And that's an invaluable thing. That's why they're so hard to get into and people want to be there. Mm-hmm. And also the great teaching environment and a very nice dining hall and all that. But if the Ivy League program decides that they want to make wrestling one of their priorities, as Cornell did, then you can do both. Like what Kyle Dake was able to accomplish. Obviously, he's over with Penn State.
Yeah.
Is now training there. Can't blame him for that decision. But he accomplished quite a lot at Cornell. So we'll see if Columbia will be able to replicate that. They got Coach Pritzloff. They had a good support team around them. UPenn is having a good tournament. 2 All-Americans.
Wow. Nico Ruiz just beat Joey Blaze.
He did, 2-1.
Man, really impressed with Nico Ruiz. Good stuff. Also in the chat, we got a comment. Cam Steed, get up. He's down 5-0. Harchla leading. I'm curious after these Consi semis to look at the team race because Ohio State, they're getting a couple wins. Cannon won and Harchla in the lead, so it's important. And Ohio State hit some bumps in the road. By the way, it's funny, Caliendo right now leading our poll in terms of what would be the biggest upset. 42% of the votes for Caliendo over Mesenbrink. 41% Merrill Barr now tied. Now it's 39. And there's a comment in the chat from Lambda.
Lambda?
No, Lambda 1463. Okay. Caliendo is the 2 seed. Yeah, that's how far Mesenbrink has separated himself. He has teched the 2 seed.
None of us are ignorant of that fact, but I understand putting it out there and being like,
it is weird to be like, well, that's when you brought that match up, I was like, nah, it's a 2. But then you're like, actually, which one would I?
Who has the lowest Vegas odds?
Yeah.
Who has the lowest odds?
Like if I was like, if somebody told me you can pick one of these 3 matches to happen,
and if one of these underdogs, or I don't know, let's say you have these 3,
you win $1 million, but you can only pick one of the 3,
or you can pick 2 of them.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which one do you leave out and you say, I'm not even going to mess with that? I think there's a chance with these other 2 to happen.
Yeah. Interesting match here. Danny Wask and Patrick Kennedy. I can't remember. Did these guys meet in a duel? Did Navy and Iowa meet in a duel this year? I can't remember, but
I don't think so.
Wask, I know that Wask beat Gabe Arnold this year, and it might have been in a tournament, might have been I don't think it was a duel. I think it might have been like Soldier Salute.
They met last year.
It was last year?
Yeah, they met twice, once at Soldier Salute and once at NCAA's.
And Wask won both times against Arnold?
No, against Patrick Kennedy.
I'm saying Wask wrestled Arnold this year, I think.
I thought you were asking about Patrick Kennedy.
No, and so
Yes, Wask beat Arnold at the Soldier Salute.
Soldier Salute. Yeah. So now,
Which is
now
fitting because he will be a soldier soon. He's right now a soldier in training.
and he knows how to salute.
And he can salute with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
Currently he's a midshipman.
Mm-hmm.
I guess sailors are still soldiers. I mean, soldier is like a catch-all. I know military, they're very specific about what terms they go by.
I think once we get through these Consi semis, we might take a short break
I think that's a good idea.
before the medal matches. I think I need to look at the format, but what they've been doing the last couple of years was a little bit of a break from what they were doing before that, which is Consi semis, then the 7th place matches, and then 5th, and then 3rd.
Yeah, that's what they do now.
Yeah.
I wish they would go back to all three at the same time.
Per weight. Yeah, it
all,
was cool.
It's a three-ring circus, and everybody loved it.
But now it's a format.
Now it's a format, and there's no circus. There's no such thing as a format circus.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they should reformat their hard drive.
Yeah.
But we don't always get what we want.
But if you try sometimes, Faye,
Yeah.
you get what
You
you
just might find you get what you need. Rolling Stones aren't metal, but I think if you were to play some metal for the metal round, people might enjoy it. Maybe in the arena there. Maybe some of the people working the PA there. Maybe some of the guys doing the announcing. Maybe our friends Jason Bryan and Brian Hazard.
Maybe Rob Kate.
Maybe Rob Cates in the house. He wants to put a mashup together, put a little AC/DC in there. I don't know.
Kennedy looking really strong. Couple takedowns against Danny Wask.
How about Wask, a two-time All-American for Navy? He's a Blair grad, so you know he knows how to wrestle, but
And he's on my fantasy team, so not a surprise to me.
not a surprise to the team all red.
Yeah. It might be a surprise to our friend Oliver Stone, who only has Danny Wask currently scoring 2 points. Not
This
true.
is another falling down on the job commissioner. He's not even there. He's not at the watch party. He's not in Cleveland. He's probably watching basketball. Hartzler with the win over Steed. So in his senior year, Hartzler going out in the top 4 placement. Sinclair leading 4-1 over, that is Brockman, the younger but larger of the men in the tournament.
Stephen Little up 6-1 right now over Angelo Posada. Good for Posada, true freshman,
Oh, yeah.
finishing top 6.
Yeah, Posada's a fun wrestler, too. Puts it out there. Stanford, they're looking good. A lot of these guys are still Rob Cole commits, but now Chris Ayer's really getting his guys in, and he's getting everybody to wrestle well. And they got 2 guys on the shelf that were, top 10 All-American contender guys in Lorenzo Norman and Hunter Garvin.
Yeah.
The tricky thing with Stanford is sometimes it's like Ivy League where guys get their degree and they're they transfer as a grad transfer.
And they get their degree very economically savvy, and they know when that transfer portal money, that NIL money is in front of them, oh, this is valuable money. You're going to pay me this money? Oh, okay.
That's one of the things they learn at Stanford.
Is that when someone offers you a lot of money, it's better to take it.
Large amounts of money have tremendous
They
value
have
to
value.
you as a person.
Yeah, so they kind of know that.
We have Bader in the personal chat, which I also call text messages. He got my lambda reference. The Omega Moose is who he's curious about. I don't think we got any Omega Moose. Here's a stat I'd like to point out and bring in to. We the first year All-Americans that are seniors.
Yeah.
That have never done it before. I have a list of names. I'm going to read them in order of their seed. Actually, let's do it in order of their flow rank,
Please.
because that to me, seeds are seeds, but this is the most impressive. Is when guys that don't show it all season long, because sometimes the seeds can get a little wonky. Andrew Sparks, he's ranked 6th in the nation, but he is a senior. This is his first time. He's from California, wrestles for Minnesota. He is a All-American at 165 pounds. And we have 2 heavies that never All-American before. They're ranked in the top 10. Connor Doucette for Oklahoma State, ranked 8th. Good for him. David Zuba, here's a guy that, a transfer worked for Arizona State. He went from Rider to Arizona State, and he All-American for the first time at heavyweight. Back down to the little guys, Jacob Moran for Indiana. He's got Angel Escobedo as a coach. No surprise that he knows how to get 125ers onto the podium. First time in his career, he's ranked 11th, ranked 13th. Patty Gallagher, he only started 3 years, made 3 tournaments, and in his senior year, gets onto the podium for Ohio State. And then your favorite guy, do you want to do his well-known? He's Caesar.
Alvin.
Thank you. From Ludlow, Massachusetts, wrestling for Columbia. Why is he out there now?
No, I just saw Cam McDaniel took down Joey Novak in the first period.
Oh, Novak, for one of 3 All-Americans for the Cowboys.
That's
and
right.
then now we're getting to some guys that I would be shocked if somebody picked them to All-American, even though they got pretty good seeds coming out of the MAC. Tyler Klinsky for Ryder, a senior, ranked 22nd in the nation.
Wow.
Gets on the stand at 125, as does in his senior year, Wyatt the Bull Henson, ranked 27th in the nation, from Waynesburg Central to Lock Haven. Son of Sammy the Bull Henson.
That's right. Good for him.
Yeah.
Pretty wild to watch him wrestle last night against Carter Noggle of Air Force. I mean,
Yeah, the Air Force and Lock Haven already in the medal round. And Henson is a guy that you cover the sport long enough. It's like, I remember when he was coming up in high school, and you're like, oh, this is Sammy's kid. Oh,
Yeah.
he's really good. And, it was a big recruit. I forget where he started, but Lock Haven was like a second stop. And, he stuck with it. He always had that, potential, but, it would be a little bit up and down. Now he's on the podium. Good for him.
mm-hmm.
Stephen Little really putting it on Posada. He was so close in the semifinals to putting Little Rock into the finals round, but he's a 3-time All-American, and he's coming back for 1 more year.
Yeah.
He's like, I am Little Rock. I am Stephen Little Rock.
Mm-hmm.
13-3 is the score there. Patrick Kennedy looks like he's going to be wrestling for 3rd. Danny Wask will try to get 5th place, but he's got years left as well.
Aiden Sinclair, by the way, a major decision in
Over
the
Brockman.
Consi semis over Brockman.
And we got the points, the team scores up there. We'll get them as soon as we get through the rest of this round. We'll take a little break, come back, talk team scores.
Yeah.
What's everybody's favorite morning beverage? How do they stay caffeinated? Or maybe they just have a glass of OJ, just straight mixer.
Okay. You want me to put it in the chat? I'm gonna end the poll. Caliendo over Mesenbrink, 58% of the votes, by the way.
That was
the biggest upset.
Even though he's the 2 seed, it's a point worth considering.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I would say it's like, yeah, who's got the longest odds according to Vegas? But I start my day with one 16-ounce can of Guayaki Yerba Mate, now known as Yerba Madre.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a good dose of caffeine. It's like an energy drink, but tastes like an iced tea. That's why I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
But those cans are expensive. And I can't have 2 $4 beverages every morning. So then I go to the little Keurig cups because they're cheap.
All right. I put the poll up there, Spay. You can vote if you want.
You actually gave everybody options?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get in there.
Yeah, get in there.
Let me get my hands dirty.
Get in there. Make a vote.
Get in there and rock the vote.
Ooh. Pocket Priorities has a good idea for a poll. Which match should be last? What do you think about that? I think 141.
Yeah.
I think start at 49.
Yep.
Wrap around
Yep.
till 141.
Yeah. And I don't mind the idea of saying, we're going to put these in an exact order that doesn't matter, right? Like, you can go 25, 65, 74, 33. You can just go whatever you want and then, leave it up to ESPN or whatever they think is going to get the most viewers in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like the simplicity of, we're going to go in order, but we're going to end with this one. Just, I don't know, maybe it's a little easier for people to know what's coming up next for the diehards or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to consult, oh, wait, which match is next or whatever. And I do think 41, I think Jesse has earned it. And I think 33 as a co-main. I think it makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to stay dehydrated. I'm going to click that just for
Some people like that. They just you know what? I'm just not going to drink anything all day as long as I possibly can.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why you can't trust the public opinion polls. But anybody doing I prefer to stay dehydrated is a little That's a little of an interesting choice.
It's a health trend. Dehydration.
It's like intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
Intermittent dehydration. Yeah. We'll have to consult your nutritionist on that one. Don't take our advice.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a little mini laser light show. We just got one laser beam going on.
Julio into house says water first, then coffee. I kind of like that actually.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense.
Gulp a glass of water and then your coffee. I like it's like, what do I prefer? I like the coffee better, but sometimes I do the water just out of discipline, you know?
I think staying hydrated is is a good idea. I don't know. I'm not Larry Steele's got an interesting combo.
Oh, what's he got? By the way, hold on. I'm on this Joey Novak, Cam McDaniel match. McDaniel got the first takedown. Novak rode him in the second, plus got a stall call and then got the escape. It's 3-3, but he's got the minute 27 riding time. Listen, guys, I lived in Wyoming for 8 years. I got to kind of watch this, so... McDaniel looking for another takedown, though. Oh, if he gets this, he's going to get it. Oh, nothing yet. He got it. No, he didn't. Not yet. Classic. Novak.
Novak's points. Wow.
Oh, man, that was wild.
I mean, that's a no reaction time takedown for McDaniel, but I think even in today's standards, or, even if you went to like some strict standards.
And look at Novak. He gets the takedown plus the Navy ride here.
Navy ride. But I think that was a good no takedown call.
Yeah. He's not even in the Navy. There's not a lot of good naval training options in the state of Wyoming.
If Wyoming ever became an independent state, it would never raise a Navy.
Yeah.
Decently moist 899. What is yerba mate? Well, good question. Decently moist 899.
Spay and I have different opinions about this.
Well, I agree that your yerba mate is legit yerba mate. I just believe that my yerba mate is far superior.
Way more convenient.
You can't go to the 7-Eleven and grab a gourd. South American traditional gourd.
Yeah.
With mate is the
filter straw.
Yeah. So yerba is the plant. Mate. Oh no. Yerba just means herb, and mate is the plant, and it's like tea.
Mm-hmm. And it's very strong tea.
Yes.
It's got like coffee levels of caffeine.
Yes. It's
normally you get like a green tea. It's like 40% the caffeine of coffee.
Yes.
Yerba, it's right on par.
Of coffee.
It's twice.
So if you get a 16 ounce, I did a lot of the math. It's like basically 2 solid cups of coffee.
Okay.
It's the same as
16 ounce though. Like a cup of coffee is 8 ounce, so it's about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't like chug a coffee. This tastes like iced tea, like a nice cold glass of iced tea that you can just gulp down.
Yep.
So if you're into gulping, yerba is pretty good for that. And then you just, especially in Texas here, the heat. Mm-hmm. I like to take it in the morning, on a hot summer day, chug a lug. And it's like maybe it's a little bit less caffeine than like a Monster or like a big old Red Bull or something.
Yeah, but those got all the sugar and all that.
It's weird caffeinated. You feel like you're putting chemicals in you. Mm-hmm. Yerba mate, you are one with nature.
Yeah. But the traditional one, it's like you get this gourd. Mm-hmm. You put the yerba mate, the tea leaves in there, and it's like super, it's not sweet unless you put sugar, but it's like super earthy, really, whatever. But you have this straw. It's like a metal straw. It has like a filter on the bottom.
So you're just getting the liquid part.
And you're getting the liquid, and you like, when you drink, it's just like, it's so concentrated. It's just like, bam, gotcha. By the way, question in the chat, how do you see the brackets on Flow?
Oh, good question. Here, look what we got here. See my cursor over here?
You go to flowwrestling.org. And go to the schedule page. You find the NCAAs.
Oops, I'm trying to move it over. All right, it is overall it's to the left that you can go, and then yes.
Brackets.
Bam. And then you select brackets. Bam.
I would just select all. Go down to the bottom.
And then you go select all.
Boom.
Give me them brackets.
Joey Novak into the third place match for Wyoming.
You can zoom in. You can zoom. Well, that's in. You can zoom out. You can go look at this glorious bracket, and then you can grab a little bit and you can move around up and down, and when you zoom in, check it out there. And then here's what you can happen. I don't know if you're going to see everything here, but it's like, wait, what happened here in this?
Like, you're like, what happened there?
What happened there? Okay, and if you could see the full screen there, but this is just for educational purposes. It's the bout score, and it's got every score that happened. It gets updated in real time. It's pretty dope. This is something that track wrestling could never do. And you can only do it in limited amounts in arena. So we're making improvements, and we're continuing to improve every day. So we hope you guys like it, but we're also interested in feedback. Now we go back to Matt Center.
Yeah, and there we go. And you know what I'm interested in, Spay? Last Conti semi on the mat right now is Ben Keeter trailing Tegadali. I want to know what the team score is looking like.
Oh yeah, let's go team score because this is why we need to get these.
Those Conti semis were the most valuable matches of this session in terms of team points. So
You only get 1 team point in the placements.
yeah, but you get 3.5 in the Conti semi. So yeah, I'm really curious.
Update that, and team scores are right here, by the way.
Yep, love that.
Bingo. You hit that. Let's refresh.
Okay.
And let me zoom in to get them all there.
Now Penn State up to 161.5. I'll tell you what, they're going to be looking for 2 more placement points and potential bonus at 33 and 57. They were going to be favoring both those matches. So that's the big team score that we're looking at is can Penn State break the record again? And then
6 in the finals is silly.
Yeah, it's insane.
4 in the finals for Oklahoma State is quite a bit.
And 8 All-Americans. Nebraska with 7 All-Americans. Iowa
7.
Iowa in the trophy hunt, but this is what I was looking
Yeah.
for. Ohio State. They got 2 Conti semi wins.
Yep.
That was big for them.
Hartsland Cannon.
And so that trophy, that 4-5 is we're going to be following that during this next session, the placement matches. That's pretty nuts. And they've already started the placement matches, by the way. They're not waiting for this Conti semi to finish. They got the 7th place matches already underway here at 7th place matches at every weight.
And to think that they wanted to get rid of that 4th place trophy because it cost too much money.
Yeah.
Fools. All right.
Maybe this is the time to take a break.
I think we should.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, it's the medal rounds and that team trophy. It's not going to be decided here because finalists for both teams, but pretty important.
Absolutely. All right. Quick break, and we'll come back for the rest of these medal matches on the Hangover session.
We'll see you right later, soon. All right. See you soon.
Or not.
Yeah, I think we're still live.
I think
we haven't-
yeah. Is that Nikki?
I don't know what our producer Nikki's doing. We're not taking a break until he's back. Oh, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Might be looking for that. There we go.
There we go. right, guys, welcome back. We got the 7th place matches on the mat. 125. Jory Volk is up 10-0 against Tyler Klinsky.
Yeah, great story of Tyler Klinsky getting an All-American for Ryder. Coach Hangy doing great stuff there.
Oh, I want to see a pin here at 141 because CJ Composto, he's my flex on my fantasy team.
And that pin bell has been collecting dust, especially without Bader to ring it, even when there are no pins.
I'll ring it. Dude, I'm not afraid, but
There's no
Composto's got to
pin
lock
yet.
in.
He's got a head in an arm.
He's only got 1:17 left to try to finish this pin.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I got the coffee cup too.
Don't play that coffee cup. That
Nikki wants me to play it.
Nikki, the producer. And chaos agent. Oh,
Wyatt Henson fighting for his life.
He's got to keep scooting out of bounds.
Yeah, but he's got to get there we go. Oh, pin down.
And hey-o. That'll wake you up if you have enough coffee or you don't have enough coffee. Just get someone to bang pots and pans around your head.
Yeah, by the way, at the 133 7th place match, Jake Van D made it 4-4 in the third. They're heading to overtime. He's wrestling Lucas Bird, the NCAA champ from last year.
Yeah, trying to take the NCAA champ out. And Van D what did he get? Something. 7th or 8th?
Yeah, he placed last year. I don't think we have any new All-Americans at 133 because I believe our All-Americans at 133 are, actually, forget it. We got 5 freshmen that 4 of them placed. Forget it. What I just said, strike it from the record.
Who forfeited to Hardy is the question. Let's find out in our award-winning brackets. That would be 140.
That was one more year for Anthony Echemendia.
Oh, that's right. Anthony Echemendia. No, wait. Anthony Echemendia forfeited to 6th. Who's in that 7th place match?
Oh, 7th place match.
Oh, no, but yeah, Echemendia did forfeit to
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dog.
Okay, well, then the 7th place match is Composto Henson. So,
all right.
I got confused. Jory Volk, 14-1 over Tyler Klinsky.
Yeah.
Volk, All-American again.
7th place. Yeah, good for him.
Didn't he get 8th last year?
I don't know.
2 years ago?
Maybe 2 years ago. In the 133 match, it's OT. Big scramble here. Lucas Bird and Jake Van D. And Bird crunching him up, but not
got his leg on the other side of his body.
Yep. 141, we already mentioned it. It was CJ Composto finishing 7th. 149, they're in concussion protocol. Wazalewski leading that one 3-0. 157.
Oh, no, that's 74. Isn't that Gaitan and Bowman?
157 going to be Cam Catcherbone getting his hand raised. No match there for 7th. 65 not on the mat, but 174, Bo Mantanona wrestling MJ Gaitan. California battle right there, Spay.
That's true. Cali on Cali crime. And who was... Can Webster. Mm-hmm. So the many cans and cannons. Wow.
Wait.
So, no, that's
no.
not
Webster
water.
didn't. No, Webster was in the Consi semi.
Okay, everybody just chill out. Everybody relax. These brackets aren't going to bracket themselves. Mm-hmm. Okay, we didn't see that. Who just got his hand raised? Catcherbone?
Yeah.
But in the Consi semis.
No, in the 7th place match.
Meyer Shapiro.
Shapiro. So Shapiro starts his career with a 3rd place finish, then a 5th place finish, now an 8th place finish.
He's trying to collect them all.
But you can't. There's only 4 years.
Well, right now there is.
Getting ready for that 8th year. And Cross Wazalewski back to action. Good to see.
This is ski versus ski crime.
Yep. Oh, wow. Now he's got the face mask.
You ever have to wrestle in one of those?
No. Did you?
Stink. Yeah, I broke an orbital once.
What do they smell like?
Well, I mean, whatever. I think they're all different, whatever they smell like.
You said they stink.
Yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Metaphorically.
All right, I'm going to start that poll that somebody suggested for us. What should be the final match?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we want to hear from you guys. Look at Coffee leading the way, and only 3% saying yerba mate. 10%, including me, because that's what I voted for fun. I prefer to stay dehydrated. You put in a little joke answer in a poll, I'm going for that joke answer. Mm-hmm. Winner, chicken breakfast beverage. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is the classic for a reason. Mm-hmm. Somebody said tea over coffee, and sometimes I prefer tea over coffee. Tea Picart, 13. But I think for just like a beverage, like you can't just like They're coffee shops. There aren't tea houses.
Yeah.
Like, I was never a big coffee guy, like, growing up, and I think my parents prefer tea. But then once you get to, like, the working world, it's just like, well, there's free coffee if you want.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so guess I'm going to just drink
Dude,
coffee.
Christian Carroll is already up for 7th. This round just started a second ago.
Well, you get those MFFs.
Yeah, those MFs. Van D going to beat NCAA champion Lucas Bird. He's going to finish 7th.
In tie-breaking rideouts. And I'm glad more and more people are waking up to the fact that, like, that's not a good way to settle matches.
Yeah. A lot of people wake up to coffee or yerba mate. Some people wake up to that realization.
To the realization that it's not what wrestling is all about. It's not what you train for. It's not what is exciting. It's just they came up, they kind of just were like, all right, well, this will be the way we'll do tiebreakers. You already have criteria in the current set of rules, which is like you go to the who's got more riding time in those sections. Mm-hmm. I say forget all that. You got 2 minutes of overtime, and then whoever has the most riding time from the regulation, that's your winner. Use that. You're going to use riding time as a tiebreaker, or at least do it without the rideouts, which nobody likes.
Dude, look at this 7th place match. Former teammates.
This is a crazy story.
Bryce Hepner, Patty Gallagher.
St. Ed's, right outside of Cleveland, where they're wrestling right now. And they both made it, Hepner and Gallagher. Hepner transferred because Gallagher won the spot. Hepner came in with a higher seed. And sometimes you need those changes of scenery. Mm-hmm. And Hepner rocking the tights again.
Ooh, Super Chat. Decently moist, $8.99.
Yeah.
For the $5 Super Chat. Is it just me, or is this NCAA more chaotic than recent years? Like, it feels like most brackets fell apart, or is it just bad seeding process? No, I don't think it's a bad seeding process. I think that there's getting to be more and more parity in NCAA wrestling, and I felt like it was pretty chaotic this year.
Yeah, I do too. I think parity is the answer, not a bad seeding process. I understand people thinking that. It's not like it's like, oh, how dare you question the seeding process? I think they lined up pretty well with rankings. I think the seeding process kind of gives more weight to the smaller conferences, the ones without as many traditional powers. So the SoCon and the EIWA even and the MAC kind of got maybe a little higher seeded than they would have if you just went strictly by rankings. But I'm also okay with that. I think, wrestling needs depth. It needs to support as many programs as they can. So I'm honestly fine with that. And then I do think it's getting more and more competitive. It's a sign of maturity of the sport. If you had nothing but mismatches, I mean, think about it on the high school level.
Yeah.
Right? If you got like 5 teams that dominate your state and everybody else is garbage, not garbage, but you know what I mean, then everybody gravitates to those 5 teams, and that's just not a good, competitive, healthy environment. Mm-hmm. The harder it is to predict who wins, the better it is. I mean, that's what pro sports are. But then when you get to the college level, you get more mismatches. So it's good.
By the way, one thing to monitor on your screen right now, we got Patty Gallagher, Bryce Hepner. Mm-hmm. We got Gabe Arnold, Branson John. Mm-hmm. Iowa leads Ohio State by 1 point.
That's right.
So, and that's a 4-5. So that one of those teams is going to get a trophy, maybe. I mean, yeah, pretty much. Like the 6th place team, they're not even close. So one of those teams will get a trophy, one won't. These 2 matches could be really important here. And Hepner close to a takedown. How did Hepner get a point in the first? I didn't see.
I didn't see either. We can find out shortly. But yeah, here's the scores. Stanford, likely impossible to catch either of those teams. So that's what's going on there.
Hepner with a takedown. Wow.
We'll see what that was. Oh, no, wait. That's 65.
The team race, by the way, if you guys, you don't follow it too closely, there are a bunch of things in play. Top 4, get a trophy. Top 10, get an automatic invite to the National Duels Invitational. So both those are bars you want to clear.
See, here's how awesome it is when stuff's going down live, and you're like, wait, how'd that score happen?
You're like,
Bryce
what happened
Hepner,
here?
Patty Gallagher.
2 stalls.
4-0, stall. Second stall is a penalty. Boom, there's the point. And then a takedown. You have the time it happened.
Man, and Hepner trying to look for a turn there.
Pretty nifty. And you know what color they are, red or green? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's not that crazy. All right, there we are.
So now, Gallagher losing, that means if you're Gabe Arnold, you get this win, you really start to kind of widen the gap a little bit.
Yeah. And I like what Gabe Arnold and Branson John, it just shows how national the sport can be. Gabe Arnold training out of the Atlanta area, did transfer to Iowa State his senior year, or Iowa City, and then wrestles at Iowa. So going from the South up to the Midwest. You got Branson John. He's out in, I think he's Buchanan, which is Central Valley, is California. He goes cross country to Maryland.
Yep.
Is now training on the East Coast with the Terps. And to me, that's just fun.
That is fun.
And then they're both in the Big Ten, and now they're both in the NCAA's wrestling for a higher step on the podium.
Mm-hmm. Patty Gallagher and Bryce Hepner, former teammates, both from Ohio, both with flowing locks. You know, a little. You know, they got kind of the Spay haircut a little bit.
Letting it flow. Yeah, this is. I've been cropped. This is pretty tame. And I think I prefer it this way just because it's like easier.
Gabe Arnold getting some near fall.
Arnold. Yep, a full complement of.
Wow,
stripes.
man, this is big. Now Ohio State really needs Gallagher to try to figure out a way back in this match. Otherwise, Iowa going to extend their lead by a point.
In the Battle of the Skis, it's Wasilewski up by 3, and he's riding Casey early in the third period.
All right,
When does third
Steve.
place
Yeah, when does
start?
third place start? Tell him. Spray.
After the 5th place matches, and we're getting close to the end of the 7th place matches. So, and there will be some forfeits in the 5th place matches. We know Angelo Ferrari won't wrestle. We know so the 84 won't have a match. We know 41 won't have a match. Edge Medea forfeit. So, and with 4 mats going, it's probably like 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe let's say half an hour.
Yeah. But I mean, don't like set your alarm. Like, pay attention until then.
Yeah. David Zuba leading Christian Carroll 4-0. Probably not a result you would have predicted, but
Zuba.
what's going on?
I mean, hey, Eric Thompson with Arizona State is the heavyweight coach there. He got Colton Schultz, was his mentor for the, still is, and all that Colton has accomplished, 4-time All-American, NCAA finalist, tons of Greco-Roman accolades. And then you bring in Zuba, and look at that. A senior, has never All-Americaned before, but Ryder does produce All-Americans, which is where Zuba was before, as we see Tyler Klinsky out there. We saw him earlier. And now he's going to make the podium. Here he is wrestling Christian Carroll, who was a top 5 recruit coming out of high school. And obviously there's a giant knee brace on Carroll, and his mobility is just, you can tell it's limited.
Yeah.
But at the same time, hey, you got to credit to the guys that are out there and staying healthy and getting it done.
Pocket Priorities, by the way, saying Hepner scrambles have been so impressive. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have been. They've been really, really good.
Yeah, it's a guy. That's another. I mean, I mentioned it already, but Gallagher and Hepner never All-American, and now they're playing with house money. So let it fly. This is their last time strapping it up on the college level. Stevie C, Jersey Wrestling represent. I'd say so, but who's that? Wasilewski? I think he's Jersey.
Yep, he's Jersey. Crossed was up 4-2. Riding time secured, so Swiderski needs a takedown just to send it to OT.
Wasilewski, a product of the Del Barton Green Wave. I knew some Delbos back in the day.
Man, what an awesome high school dual meet environment they have.
I'm obviously dating myself here, but in the 90s, the Grays had not come through Del Barton yet. So they would have a guy that would place at regions, or they would be pretty tough. I mean, it's a very big, look at Zuba.
Wow, Zuba took his shoes off. You don't see that at NCAAs.
Yeah, so Del Barton's come a long way. But yeah, David Zuba.
Look at that, and look at the cam op, just locking in on those shoes.
And you've mentioned it before, but Zuba's got a family now.
Yeah.
He's got.
Wait, did Carroll just grab those shoes? I think Christian Carroll just grabbed those shoes.
No.
Took them off the mat.
He's like, oh.
Nikki, can you rewind that the top left mat like 15, 30 seconds? I want to see if it was. I think you see Christian Carroll's shoes come in and grab that.
What if he just said, oh, free shoes?
Oh, nice shoes, dude. Yeah. He's like, oh, we're also an Adidas school. I can wear these.
Crosswaz is your champ. So Swiderski finishes 8th. I'm sure he wanted more out of this season, but.
All right, here we go. Here's the shoe removal ceremony. We got to lock in here. Zuba puts him on the mat.
Yep.
All right, so okay, the cam op locks in, zooms in, wants to know what's going on. He wants to know what happened there. And then I want to know what's going to happen to these shoes. I always wonder this, like, where do the shoes go? I got a story about shoes being removed. And look, you see that was wrestling shoes that came in and took those, right? Or were those coaching shoes?
Could be coaching shoes. I always
right.
thought like the ref would just pick them up.
I think it was the Arizona State coach.
Probably.
Yeah, all right.
Let's
all
get
right, here we go.
One more look. They have similar colors, Wyoming and Arizona State. So
it comes in quick. Are these wrestling shoes or coaching shoes? That's the question.
Shoes.
All right.
Everybody key in.
And
shoes.
Here they come.
Shoes.
Those are coaching shoes.
That's
Those
like Arrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Fritz.
All right.
Christian Carroll did not go. Gimme.
That's what I thought at first. I was like, dude, did Christian Carroll just steal those shoes? No, he didn't. Gabe
Arnold. All right.
7th place. And,
7th place at 197 pounds. He wrestled 74 in the year 2026.
Yeah.
He made 174 pounds.
yeah. And for Iowa, I mean, that could be the difference in the trophy between them and Ohio State. Gallagher losing now. By the way, we got Drake Ayala on the mat against Tyler Knox. By the way, you know what I appreciate about Gabe Arnold? Obviously that he overcame all that and he won, but also that when he won and he was fired about Iowa, he did this. He went like he pointed to this.
Where do you point? Oh, the hawk.
He pointed to this. He
Or he pointed to the Iowa logo.
Leg of the singlet.
That's right.
There was a guy at the Iowa State Championships who won in like the quarters of the semis, and the logo for the team was on the leg, and he did this.
And he did, and there was no.
There was no. It was just.
He was just
blank.
like, check out these pecs, man. I've been
was just
blasting
white.
these. I've been doing bench all
But
day.
he couldn't even see he pulled the singlet out, so it's just like.
Yeah, but he's like under there. There's some really excellent definition.
Yeah. So appreciate Gabe Arnold knowing where the logo is.
What a low bar. Just because you
important.
saw that
Yeah.
one high school kid mess up. You're like, you know what? Kudos to you for knowing where the logo is on
Dude, Bryce Hepner just majored former teammate Patty Gallagher.
St. Ed's.
Or Carr.
2 All-Americans in 1 weight class. But, I mean, that's a satisfying win. Gallagher obviously is going to rue that a little bit. But when you leave a school because you don't see the path to a starting job, and I'm not on the inside, I haven't heard all this stuff, so Hepner may have a totally different explanation. But, I mean, it sure looked like that from the outside that, okay, I got 1 more year. I want to make sure I got a spot, or maybe North Carolina just made him a good, or that just looked good to him. I don't know. But, and then you beat a former teammate that was kind of a roadblock to you making that starting lineup.
Yeah. I'm going to share a story for this group that I've shared this before on these chats. But my senior year of college, we got a new coach, and he was more intense than the previous coach. And it was one of those where, like, I don't know if you guys have been part of a program where, oh, look at that, Carter Noggle. He's going to get 5th place.
5th place for Air Force.
Wow.
You know, that's
shout out.
That's higher than Wyatt Hendrickson ever placed when. No, he got 3rd.
Yeah.
But for a couple years,
Yeah.
that's better than Wyatt.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we got a new coach, and we needed it. We needed a little bit of house cleaning. We needed, like, to level things up a little bit. But if you've been part of that process, you know those coaches, they kind of they're setting the bar really, really high because they know they need to weed out some of the guys that don't really need to be part of the team anymore. And that was what was happening for us. These guys are, starting to, quit and whatever. And I remember there's one of my teammates, I'm not going to name his name, came in after a bunch of really hard preseason workouts. He was quitting. And our coach wasn't in the room yet. And our coach also had like he had a military background. So he's like really like everything's got to be.
Yeah, you were at practice at 1600 on the dot.
Yeah. So we're all there early and our teammate comes in and he's holding his shoes and he tells us, I just feel like I'm going to prioritize some other things and, I'm going to this and this.
I suck, so here.
Pretty much. Like basically like I don't like doing all these pull-ups and stuff,
Yeah.
And so he he holds his shoes up and he puts his shoes on the mat and then he walks out of the room and we're all kind of like, what do we do here? I don't know. Like we're all confused. And then,
do we applaud him? Are we supposed to
and then
give him a send off?
And then our coach comes in literally like 30 seconds later and he like sees the shoes on the mat and he's just like, who's leaving the shoes? I told you guys keep this wrestling room clean. And he throws the shoes in the corner. He throws them in the corner.
So who does take those shoes?
And so
sometimes it's a coach.
Well, no, it was funny because they're just in the corner and then like we had like this rule, you got to keep the wrestling room clean. So I think somebody put him in the locker room, whatever. And then it was like a week later that guy, that former teammate, he like got a job as an assistant coach in middle school, and he was like, "Hey, I need those shoes back." And so he came back.
Hey, you didn't throw them out.
Had to get them, so he dug them out of the locker room, out of like the lost and found or whatever. So anyway,
Hey guys,
sometimes you got to leave your shoes on the
I
back.
get those back.
All right, we got.
All right. Hey man, fifth.
Wait. How do we have 197 fifth place match?
Just how the mat assignments went, but yeah, fifth place. Posada, McDaniel, they just wrestled, but I guess you only need a half hour, correct? Is that the rule? I think it's like 20 minutes for UWW.
I think so. Colin Guy up 3-0. Iowa challenging. These placement matches really matter for Iowa. They're trying to get a trophy. Drake Ayala leading Tyler Knox 9-4 at the moment.
Did we miss a Spratley fall? Is that what
I'm watching Spratley wrestle Jacob Moran right now. And it's 6-1.
Well, maybe the chat's ahead of our ESPN.
It's impossible.
Nothing is impossible. And, okay, well, peering into the future, I believe, we really got to get like a label on these little, on our brackets for what placement bout they are.
It says fifth place match.
No, I'm in the brackets.
Huh?
Look, in the brackets.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm saying, because that's what was throwing me off earlier. This is another one for our developers. Like, which of these is fifth and which of these is seventh?
Yeah, good point.
See? Anyway, that's the future. Here's what's happening. Oh, it just happened. So there's the pinfall. Yeah, we'll make a note. What else is going on in the chat?
Yeah, what's popping?
Our ESPN seems to be behind. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes ESPN comes at different speeds depending on how you get it. I mean, we're doing, I don't know, we're in the studio. I don't know if there's a lag for all the different things it has to run through.
The Audio Kitty Cat is asking why you act like the Brands Bros aren't doing a good job. Were we acting like that?
They might be talking to other people in the chat.
Okay.
It got pretty heated yesterday.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I mean,
Ayala.
probably the best answer to that question is like, this is a very polarizing team. So everything they do is going to be way more scrutinized than anything any other team does.
100%.
So also, people love to reach conclusions before they should. So, you assess the season after March.
They might have a jump to conclusions, Matt.
They might have that. You really can't assess the season until it's all the way over. Iowa took 6 losses in dual meets this year, and so people say, "Oh man, they lost to like Minnesota." But in the end, what are you going to get? Probably a trophy.
If you had a deal ahead of time, and it's like, okay, you're talking to some wizard, and he says you can have 6 dual losses, but you'll finish 4th, or you can have 2 dual losses, and you can finish 6th. Which would you take?
I don't know. Losing to Iowa State, I might take. I don't know.
I think I would take 4th, because then when you're looking back in the history books and you're going, what's the first way you're judging how this team was? You go to your NCAA finishes.
Dude, Hardy Stanich. I cannot wait for this match.
Ooh, baby.
This is one I didn't even really think about.
Now you're thinking about it.
Now I can't wait.
You're thinking about it and you're watching it.
We're watching third place matches already.
What a treat. Yeah, someone asking, when does the third place bout start? Well,
now.
Here and now. We're going to have a long break before finals.
But not as long as last year, because the finals start at 6:30 Eastern.
They moved them up.
Last year it was like 8 Eastern.
We can actually eat lunch at lunchtime as opposed to eating lunch at like 3 and scarfing down just pizza like Garfield on a tray of lasagna.
I love that for us.
Man, Stanich is just such a brawler. Remember when he was like moving Mendez around the mat? When's the last time you saw Mendez in college get like moved to different ends of the mat? I mean, to Mendez's credit, Jesse's a dog.
Not since last year. Like, I think Bartlett kind of did that a little bit last year in the Big Tens, but not this year.
Yeah. And Mendez came back and dug deep and got it done.
By the way, that Iowa challenge in the block guy match was a good challenge. that wiped the takedown for Guy, but now Guy just gets the takedown again in the second period. So
I think Guy might end up. Oh no, I have Younger, but my fantasy team got riddled with injuries. I had Edgemandia, I had Angelo Ferrari. I think both of those were good picks. I didn't know that they were going to get injured like they did. Oh, McDaniel with a cradle near side locked up on Posada. But Guy was a nice. I mean, here he is.
oof, McDaniel with the cradle.
Oh, Posada's in trouble. Well, you
Wow.
know, I need. Maybe now is when you use the pin bell, or if he doesn't get the pin, you just show everyone how gnarly that cool that cup.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
It's in the third, so a McDaniel.
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, what happens here? Oh, Hardy on a single leg of Stanich. He's got plenty of time. 1 minute.
World famous, I'm not going to say the other part, says that Ayala left it all on the mat. I think so too. 5th place finish as a senior. Man, wrestled great his entire career. You know, 3-time All-American, 2-time NCAA finalist. I think a career to be proud of.
He
Ooh,
is
Hardy looking for a takedown.
still not yet. Stanich. What a maniac. This is just annoying if you're Hardy. Like, come on, man. What the heck? He tripped him. He took him out of bounds. And now Stanich got his leg. Yeah, he's not going to get this. Ridiculous.
Way out of line.
Way out of line. Stanich from Roxbury High School, public school.
Hardy's still
Got it.
locked on that leg, though. He is so tough to finish on.
We're filming in front of a live studio audience now.
That's right.
The pressure's on.
Great to have. Camden McDaniel with that 12-6 lead.
No pin bell, but I still think you should do the special.
Make a little noise? All right, yeah. We'll
Wait, there it
do
is.
We'll do this for Camden McDaniel for the hand raise. We're going to get him fired up. He's pumped. Nebraska having another great season. They're going to win a trophy again, and here we go.
Show off.
There we go.
Only they had those in the arena.
Yeah,
They could make friends with everybody in their section.
they absolutely could. Man, I'll tell you what, Nebraska last year had this trophy performance, second place. People thought, was that a fluke? There'd been a few years in a row where the Nebraska team had kind of, maybe lost some blood round matches, struggled a little bit.
We were the ones, we did a whole article where it was who loses the most in the blood round? Just not to brag about it, but just to be like, what the fan base is tortured. And it was Nebraska.
Yeah, and now, all of a sudden, you look at the Huskers, and 2 years in a row, they're
Outperforming seeds, Chance Lamer, the 20 seed.
Yep.
Let's look at those team scores while we're here. We got that power.
pull them up.
We'll refresh.
Look at the Huskers.
Now it shows all the placements too.
Dude, Nebraska scoring over 100 points at the NCAA Championships is
It's good enough to win in other years.
a lot of years, yeah. Not right now.
Iowa
You get
won
these-
in recent memory with under 100 points.
Yeah, and take a look at Iowa, by the way. They got the 4-point lead over Ohio State. When we started these medal matches, that was just a 1-point lead. So the Hawkeyes doing their job here. And for Ohio State, Patty Gallagher took a loss in that placement match. They're going to really need points from Jesse Mendez. He's kind of their last hope, but they're going to have to try to get a little bit of help here
Mendez
on
and
the backside
Davino.
too. Davino in the finals. He's going to wrestle Jax Forrest. That's one that,
Yeah, you can't really count on bonus points.
yeah.
most
Although
likely.
I will tell you this, Spay. We put a poll in the chat
Yeah.
20 minutes ago. What match should be the last match of the NCAA finals?
Yep.
41% are saying Jesse Mendez versus Sergio Vega, but 39% want Forrest Davino to end it off.
Okay, but that's why 41 is the perfect one to start at 49.
You got a co-main and a main. I agree with that.
33 to 41.
Yeah.
All right, so Stanich just got a takedown, and Hardy needs some injury time. We got some Stanich fans. Oh, Stevie C, he was the one that was shouting out Jersey.
Yeah, you think about Luke Stanich. I mean, this is a guy that lost a heartbreaker in the Fargo finals to Mason Gibson back in high school. He was like, towards the lower end of the top 20. And now look at him. He's going to be a 2-time All-American.
Just a sophomore. You got 2 more years.
Yeah.
World is going to get 2 more years of Luke Stanich.
He's a U20 world champion. I mean, awesome stuff for Lehigh.
Yeah. No, Lehigh got a good one. That's that's Lehigh's like bread and butter there. It's getting guys from the Northeast that love to wrestle. I know most coaches will tell you this. Every coach will tell you this, but you want guys that you got to kick out of the room that are just thinking, eating, breathing, sleeping, wrestling.
Spaceman Africa.
Okay.
Asking, Carroll DQ? No.
No.
Nope. He got beat. He was pretty injured, but wrestled the match, lost to Zuba in the 7th, 8th place match. Christian Carroll, an All-American. He said he's going to die in Wyoming.
you just love that. Like, listen,
Yeah.
I don't. It's
Oh,
like,
my gosh. Listen to this. Mark Bader with a super chat. $10. He said there's a conspiracy against the pin bell. We're not to be trusted. Bader, we rang the pin bell.
Yeah, he
when
just
there was
wasn't
a pin.
paying it. He's been
Oh, you know what?
He's been busy with
Did you tell me that Spratley got a pin?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't ring it for that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Spratley, this one's for you. We didn't ring it because we were distracted looking at team scores and all this other stuff. So
Bader was distracted when we were ringing it because the K-pop demon hunters were occupying his life.
Mm-hmm. Pocket Priorities says, we can thank Crookham for giving us an extra year of Stanich. No, they're unrelated.
Completely unrelated.
Although Stanich probably did redshirt a year when he maybe wouldn't have last year with Crookham.
Yeah.
So, okay, so maybe you're right, Pocket Priorities.
Well, I mean,
maybe you're wrong.
Another year of Stanich in Lehigh, very potentially. I think the plan was for him to redshirt all along. And
yeah.
Another takedown for Stanich.
Yeah, he is looking so good. It's hard to do what Luke Stanich is doing. Brock Hardy, NCAA finalist a year ago, now here in the 3rd place match.
They got the 5th and the 3rd going on simultaneous because we got our Doug Villaro 5th place award winner, Danny Wask, and Cam Steed on the mat. That is for 5th, and Wask in the lead right now. That'd be huge for Navy to get a 5th placer. I don't know when the last time they placed that high.
Well, Steed's in the lead, 3-1. I would love Wask to be in the lead. He's on my fantasy team,
Okay,
Spay.
well, I don't have my binoculars on, so
he's on my fantasy team.
But you're
also,
right.
Yeah, also great member of the redhead community.
Yeah, he's on the all-red team.
Wask, that's right.
Well, if Bader was here, he would have made sure that I would have noticed that it was.
A lot of people would say, why would you pick up a 15 seed on your fantasy team? I knew he was ready.
Not because he was an All-American last year, but because he's part of the redhead team.
It was a combination of factors, yes.
All right, fair. For 3rd place, Nico Provo, Vincent Robinson. That's a huge one. Provo has been wrestling great. Vincent Rob, I don't think you can call him the underdog, even though he's the 12 seed. He's the national champ last year, and he's been wrestling great. He's been avenging losses. He beat Ventresca for the first time.
He also just in the Consi semis had to avenge a loss from the round of 16 against Troy Spratley. That's a big win for him. And man, that was one that Oklahoma State wanted to kind of get their team points a little bit higher, but Vincent Robinson avenging that loss from yesterday now moves to 4-1 against Troy Spratley.
Man, he's winning, especially when it matters the most here. At the big dance.
Look at these seeds in the 3rd place match here at 149. Number 20 seed, Chance Lamer. 11 seed, Lackland McNeil. Between these two guys, five programs throughout their careers. Lackland McNeil was North Carolina, then Michigan. Lamer started at Michigan.
And then if Hardy gets this, which doesn't look like he's gonna, 10 seconds. Man, Stanich is just such a dog, too. That's why him and Jesse was there's 2 junkyard dogs out there when they're wrestling.
No doubt. Julio Endahouse in the chat, he's asking, does Hardy have 3 more years of eligibility?
Hardy's done.
Hardy's done. Hardy's wrestled. He's been around for a long, long time. People know.
Why is Lehigh throwing a brick?
Man.
Zach Gray wanted more points?
Look at Hardy and Stanich sharing a moment down there.
Yeah.
Man, it's cool to see. Hardy, he was on the Mark Bader show a couple weeks ago, and I think one of the guys with just a really, really cool perspective and an ability to articulate himself well. This is a guy who did his Mormon mission and then now wrestled, 6 years at Nebraska?
Yeah.
He's been around and love hearing his perspective.
Graduated in 2018, I think, of high school. Out of all of the high school, everybody that's on the medal stand at NCAA's, he graduated high school the latest. Oh, there's Coach Chenzo.
Wait, we got a challenge.
I think they won a major.
They won a major decision here. I wonder how. Maybe we should pull in the team scores and see what's going on. But also, by the way, are you looking at Provo? Nico Provo up 4-0 on Vincent Robinson.
And when Provo's on,
did he beat V-Rob twice this year? I think he might have. I'm gonna pull that in.
You're gonna look that up. Okay, I'm gonna see what the chat is up to. Crookham beat McGonigal. That's correct. What's the wizard's name?
It's a good question.
I think Merlin.
Yeah, I thought it was Dumbledore.
Wyoming is a beautiful place.
It's a great place. Nico Provo, and 125 has been one of those weights this year where matchups just matter. Nico Provo has 2 wins this year over Vincent Robinson. And we talked about Robinson. He had 4. He's 4-1 against Spratley. He's 1-4 against Ventresca. Like, it's kind of one of those matchup dependent weight classes, or maybe just Robinson is a matchup dependent guy. But
Robinson seems to be rather streaky with his opponents. Mm-hmm. Does he just have big knee pads and socks, or is he also doing tights and knee pads?
Those are tights.
Okay. Hey, now that we got the audio fixed during the break, maybe we pull in like an interview or something. Anything stand out that you think we should check out on the FloWrestling Instagram page?
Yeah, let's go. Let's scroll down. Take a look.
Let's
see. You know who I thought was interesting to hear from after last night's session was Ben Davino. There was a little bit of controversy there in the match with Blaze, and Davino wrestling in front of an Ohio crowd. Pretty cool to hear his thoughts. Let's see what people think.
They tried every way to rob me that match. I got that takedown in overtime. I got that stall call when I was shooting. I came out on top. You can't take that shit from me. That's mine.
Let's scroll down.
That's mine. Come on.
Take a look. Let's see.
They tried every way to rob me that match. I got that takedown in overtime.
Spade,
I got that stall call when I was shooting.
You think I have the audio figured out, but I don't.
That's mine. That's mine. Come on.
Okay.
They tried every way to rob me.
We got it.
There we
Tried to rob him, but they couldn't. How about another one? How about Jesse?
All right.
He's a good wrestler, and I've been excited to wrestle him. I know he's a buzzsaw, and he's going to come at you. And, I got to do a little bit better job of getting my motion going. He had a tight collar tie, and then he's going over black on my throat, and it's slowing me down. But, I gotta do a better job of opening those up. He's a good wrestler.
All right, there we go. What fun that was.
There we go. Also, we got a match on the mat here. Brandon Cannon, PJ Duke. This is an opportunity for Penn State to try to tack on. They're gunning at a team point record. And bonus points here would go a long way there. It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
All right, I think I got the tiles back where they belong. All right, and there's Cam Steed. I'm reading the score correctly this time. It's 5-3 over Danny Wask. Sorry about that, team all red.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
It happened there.
That's what happened there. Penn State with 2 opportunities to score points in the consolations. One, PJ Duke, Brandon Cannon, and then the other, Marcus Blaze, Aaron Seidel. I cannot wait for that match, Spay.
Oh, yeah.
Probably between that one and Hardy versus Stanich, those are the 2 that I'm most excited about in these placement matches. And look at this, PJ Duke looking for a
whip over, hip toss.
Wow.
Love a good hip toss. All right. I don't think anybody has established himself as mayor yet. Maybe we do a poll in the finals.
Yeah, we'll have to do that in the finals. Look at this, V-Rob sharing a hug with Nico Provo.
How about
Provo, 3rd place at the NCAA Championships.
How about them Stanford Cardinal? Is Cardinal plural already?
No.
How about them trees?
You're not allowed to put an S at the end of Cardinal.
Correct. So,
so the word itself is.
Yeah. Look at all the Cardinal out there winning matches.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nico Provo. He's a guy that had to battle some injuries and whatnot. So let's refresh this team score.
Mm-hmm.
See how we're doing there. Oh, whatever happened there?
Mm-hmm.
So there's it's got all of the placements too. And pretty soon that will add a 1st and 2nd to there. And we can get rid of the championship and consolation rows. What was Lehigh trying to challenge for? Let's see where they were. Trying to get ahead of Columbia. 26.5. Cesar Alvin still gets to wrestle, or as you like to call him,
Alvin. That's what a lot of people say.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what, the dad of the Chipmunks likes to say.
That's right.
Especially when they're acting up and he's trying to record a Christmas album.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri, Wyoming, Arizona State, Virginia Tech, and NC State. Wow, look at that. NC State and Virginia Tech, 40.5 points each.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, McAnally can add to that. Iowa State, Younger can add to that. Stanford is probably alone at 7th place now. I doubt anybody below them is going to catch him.
Hey, important team race matchup here. You might have just mentioned this while I was looking at scores, but Harchla Kennedy, did you mention?
No, not yet.
That's coming up. That's a head-to-head Iowa-Ohio State match. Ohio State trying to run down Iowa, and Cannon not looking like he's in a position to win. But if Harchla can beat Kennedy, that's a head-to-head. That would not only score a point for Ohio State, but it would
deny Iowa.
Yeah, and
Iowa's up by 4 right now.
If you're Iowa, obviously you have a finalist in Caliendo, but his chances are going to be pretty tough against Mesenbrink. Many people in our chat said that's the most unlikely upset to happen in the finals. So you want a 5-point lead, right? You want a 5-point lead going into those finals. You want Ohio State to not be able to pass you with just one title. And so a win here from Kennedy would be big.
Make sure you're not forgetting what's going on in the 3rd place bout at 133 right now, because they just started their match.
Ooh, Blaze and Seidel.
Here
we go.
And your favorite Alvin is also on the mat for Columbia.
And he's winning.
Oh, let's get back to the tiles. That's probably
Alvin beat Nico Ruiz earlier in this tournament. Now trying to do it for the 2nd straight time. Alvin with wins over the 5, that was D. Lockett, and the 4, Nico Ruiz. And we've mentioned it throughout this entire tournament, but Donnie Pritzloff at Columbia, what a job that guy's doing.
Yeah, kudos. Another Jersey legend. I'm going to look up. My voice will allow it. Oh, I had the caps lock on. All right, Patrick Kennedy and Harchla.
They're 3-3, I think, in their careers.
So this will be their 5th meeting this year.
This year?
This season. They met at National Duels, and I'll do this quick because I want to watch their, Kennedy won at National Duels. Kennedy won in their regular duel in February. Harchla won at Big Tens, and Kennedy won at NCAAs. They also wrestled twice the year before. It was Harchla winning both. And so, man, this will be 5, 6, this will be their 7th match of their career.
And these are both seniors, right?
Yep.
They'll be done. Man, that's what a fitting way for these guys to end their careers. Like, all right, I'm just going to wrestle the guy that I've wrestled 1,000,000 times in my career.
It's shades of Austin O'Connor and Mitch Feinsilver. I think O'Connor's junior year and Feinsilver's senior year. They're ACC rivals. They met at a couple tournaments. It was like 6, and they met twice at NCAAs.
No points so far in that match. No points in the Blaze Seidel match either.
I gotta try to avoid the tiles. No spoilers.
Don't look at the
tiles. No spoilers,
tiles.
please. I have to watch like this.
Don't even bring up the tiles. It makes me want to look at them.
Not even bathroom tiles.
Blaze looking
or
at
tiles.
that little.
I don't want to hear it.
It's funny thinking about high school careers. You would probably pick Blaze 10 times out of 10 against Seidel, but the way that these guys have both competed in college, it's like you just think, 2 very different styles. Seidel, 1,000,000 ways to score, especially in the top position. This is anybody's match, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a great read here after almost the whole first period. Seidel, maybe a little bit more aggressive, but knowing Blaze's style, it's like, yeah, go ahead. He weathers all those storms. He doesn't give up points.
Yeah. And while we're watching that, Harchla got a takedown. Kennedy escaped. It's 3-1 going into the second period for Carson Harchla. As we mentioned, big one for the team race.
Big one for the team race. Looks like Duke, they're still in the second period, but he's got a 6-point lead in riding time over Cannon, and Cannon had to take some injury time. There's another takedown for Duke.
If you're Ohio State, you want to go into the...
Oh, big! Okay, so that's a little judo-ness. They go out of bounds, so no score, but that's a mare. That's making a point.
Yeah.
To try to win some votes by Cesar Alvin. They go out of bounds. This is a fun move.
Good for him. If you're Ohio State, you want to be within 3 points of Iowa going into the finals.
Yeah.
Because you're pretty confident, Mendez will be the favorite. Davino, the underdog, you want to put faith in that guy. Obviously, you want him to win, but you're going to feel a lot more comfortable if you're within 3. A win here from Harchla would do that, and he's up 4-1 in the second.
Although
Kennedy gets a
there,
he ties it up.
That was a pretty finish. Kennedy's got more finishes than I think he probably gets credit for. He's not the slickest, but he's deceptively fast. He's deceptively, creative when he's got a leg.
Hartshell's got to get out. And are they going to give it to him on the edge?
Yeah, they've been letting him wrestle a lot. They finally have more room now. Cleveland, the Rocket Arena, is smaller on floor space wise. So when they had 8 mats out there, and even in the dog bone, you had tables like pretty close there. So on the short sides of the mat, or when there was no other mat on the other side, you couldn't really get a lot of continuation.
Now looking up top, we've been saying Aaron Seidel might be the best top wrestler at 133 in the country.
Has over a minute.
Got the riding time over a minute against Marcus Blaze. That's big.
Oh, and he's chopping. That tight waist is in. Gets that leg out from under him. Brings Marcus back down to the mat.
And this is, this was a conversation in the chat throughout this tournament. A lot of people were saying, that unfair that Blaze and Davino are on the same side, along with Bird and Ayala. Yes. The top side was imbalanced, whatever. I think we're seeing right now, no matter what happens in this match, like those guys in the top half, Seidel and Forrest, they're just as good as the guys in the bottom.
Yeah.
It's evenly distributed.
Right. Those are the 4 hammers, the 4 freshman hammers. So, yeah. Oh, another takedown for Alvin. Man, I think this man might be the mayor.
He might be the mayor.
I think he might be.
Yeah.
Columbia, I mean, a program that was like not nowhere. And again, no disrespect for what Zach Tonelli was building and all the wrestlers. I mean, Alvin was one of his recruits. Mm-hmm. But Columbia was just not a relevant program.
Yeah.
And then they win the Ivy League regular season. They beat Cornell. And all of a sudden it's like, where'd this program come from?
Yeah.
Where'd Alvin come from?
PJ Duke just tacked on 2.5 points for Penn State with the placement win and a tech fall.
Fall of the technical variety. And that is a second period ride out for Seidel.
That's impressive.
All right, what does Seidel do here? Go down?
All right, now Blaze is good on top too, but Seidel is he's such a good mat wrestler.
I think Blaze is already looking at the corner. He said, cut him.
Okay.
Optional, there it
Not
is.
even going to try to ride, going to work for the takedown.
This is a random trivia, but Columbia's last third place winner? I don't even have to look it up.
Dude, yes, hold on.
It was either 2013 or 2014. I want to say 13.
I can see him. He was 49, right?
Yeah.
I can't, man, why can I not think of his name?
And I'm pretty sure on that weight class too, but he was definitely like middle low.
49-57.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember his name.
Steve Santos.
Steve Santos. That's right.
Yep. All right, so optional. There's the point for Seidel. What happens next?
Kennedy gets the takedown to take an 8-5 lead. Dude, this could be the trophy right here.
It could come down to and it's fitting that a guy like Kennedy. Wow. All right, we got action going on as well. What a scramble. Seidel going at it, but then I wish Blaze would turn that on more. I know, hey, it's his strategy. I'm not telling him how he should wrestle. I'm just saying as a fan, when he hits that switch, he's as explosive as anybody.
I think Alvin, does he have a year left?
No.
No, he's done.
This is it.
Wow.
Caesar Alvin.
What a beast.
Columbia Lions, 3rd place. Hopefully he's getting a nice little, nice applause there in Cleveland.
Yeah.
They like good wrestling there. Another big scramble. Oh. Hayes.
Man, Seidel is very, very competent in the scrambles.
Woo.
This is
picked him up. That's a great
match. Seidel's close. Seidel may finish this.
He's got Blaze. Oh, on his back.
Oh my goodness.
And he's gonna get
dude, he might get
near fall.
Is he gonna get a major?
Is there near fall?
I thought it was at least 2.
3 takedown.
No near fall. I'm surprised by that.
We have under a minute to go. He leads 4-0. Riding time is secured as 5-0.
Yeah.
And Kennedy is riding tough. He's close to over a minute of RT with short time to go. I think Kennedy's going to get it. And you're right, that may be. All right, well, Hartshell's out. Okay, this is still a match. We got 10 seconds. But Seidel is going to ride this out. He's going to win 5-0. He's going to blank Marcus Blaze. Well,
Patrick Kennedy gets the point.
He's going for the tilt.
Oh,
roll through.
My gosh.
Oh, got a little greedy.
Not going to get the points, but
he's going to stay riding. This
still going to get the 5-0 win for riding time. Dude, Aaron Seidel. Turns out that top half of the bracket, little bit underseeded.
You got the 1 and the 3.
Underseeded, yeah.
1 and the 3 on the top side. So what does that say about the bottom side? They didn't pull their weight as much as the top side did.
Yeah, Joey Novak, Stephen Little meeting up here. Wow, Aaron Seidel. That's a guy that was not planning to wrestle this year.
Yeah, they had Dylan Campbell.
2 of the top 3 wrestlers at 133
We're
in November,
we're chilling.
or probably December, like, nah. Well, here you go.
Obviously, they were training and working out and all that. Another feel-good story, Caleb Campos, American University, the Eagles. Now he's wrestling for 3rd. David Terrell finished 4th. That was the last American All-American,
Yeah,
the AU.
the last American Eagle.
Whoop, get back here.
What happened there?
What happened there? I didn't realize that I would be controlling the screen with...
Ooh, Matthew's back with a super chat. $1.99. He's speaking some Portuguese, but he's pumped up for Cesar Alvin. I'm pumped up for him too.
Can you try to... How do those words go?
He says, Parabéns, Cesar Alvin. Chama.
Chama!
No, you got to emphasize that last A like I did. I think I did it
Okay.
right.
Yeah,
I think I had it.
That's the Brazilian way to do it.
I don't.
Well, bom dia, Matthew LaBelle, 5-3-2.
Connor Doucette on the mat in the 3rd place match. So he got to 3rd. AJ Ferrari defaulted out. Is that correct? Am I?
AJ?
I think so.
No AJ either.
I think 2 pieces of Ferraris both defaulted.
Oh, okay. Well, here, let's look it up here on our nifty brackets. 285 over here. And we'll zoom in. Gadali. Yep. Keeter got the MFF for, I believe that's 5th. Yeah.
Yep. So Ferrari going to finish 6th. 3-time All-American, NCAA champion back in 2021. And he's got 1 more year of eligibility.
That's true. We're going to have 1 more year of AJ Ferrari. And, yeah, we're getting to the end of this round already.
Yeah.
Thanks again to Cliff Keen for letting us do this, for supporting us, for supporting wrestling.
Look at these team scores. Iowa up now 92.5 to 84.5 for Ohio State. Iowa's going to get a trophy.
Iowa will trophy. Nebraska will finish 3rd. Oklahoma State. I mean, I would not have predicted Nebraska, Iowa 3-4 going into this.
I want to look at my my predictions and see what I had Iowa scoring at the end of this tournament. It was not close to 92.5. I had Iowa. Dude, I had Iowa scoring 68.
Yeah, no faith in the Hawkeyes. Well, they'll remember that, David.
I had Oklahoma State scoring 120.5. They're at 119. I had Nebraska scoring 78. They're at 101.5. I had Penn State scoring 183. They could still actually do better than that.
They can do better.
If they win 4 out of 6 in the finals, they're going to go 184.
That's a lot.
No, they got to win 5 out of 6.
All right. Well, they can still win 6. That's another record that they're chasing.
If they win 4 out of 6, they're going to go 180. If they win 4 titles, record.
Set the record. Set the record straight. And if they win 6, 2 records. Speaking of Columbia, getting back to them, Lennox Wolak placed 6th. That was the last All-American for Columbia. That was Tonelli's All-American during that reign. And then you go back to Steve Santos. It was 2013. Another New Jersey guy. He placed 3rd. So that was the last time anybody from Columbia placed that high.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Stephen Little leading Joey Novak 3-2.
And if Campos does not beat Sinclair, and I would put money on Sinclair, especially after he just got another takedown, that would be the highest anyone from AU placed since David Terrell in 2016 when he electrified that crowd in New York City.
Became the mayor.
Yeah. Retroactive. I think if my memory serves, but who cares? It's a good enough story. We'll say he became mayor that day.
Mm-hmm.
Let me not stand in the way of a good story, perhaps one that might motivate people to become All-Americans in their senior year.
That's right.
Little Rock. What was What was the highest placement that Stephen Little Rock ever placed?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I just remember him being on the podium and, wrestling tough. I don't remember what place he was on the podium.
Seventh, and then sixth.
Okay.
Nasir Bailey was fourth 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's right. He lost to Crookham.
Crookham for third, yeah.
Yeah. So if Little beats Novak and he's up 6-3 in the second, that will be the highest placement for Little Rock in their very brief history.
Wow.
2001
But
was their first.
Their, for them, the mission is how many All-Americans and how high. Like, it's not just can we get one now. It's.
Yeah. No, it's all. They're building Neil Ayersman. What he's done there, what a hire. When you're a first-time program, how do you get the right coach? How do you get a guy that's not just like, all right, well, once I'm here and I build Little Rock, now there'll be some other program.
Yeah, and, you think about, like, what's the narrative around a program, and if you're Neil Ayersman, you probably look at Nasir Bailey and Jordan Williams transferring out, and you say, they have better performances here than they did at Iowa.
Yeah. And you can also say, every program at every level and every sport is thinking this, there's the tippy top, the guys with the most money. And there's nothing you can do. You can't control another team's donors. You can't control another team's NIL and their money. So you can say, hey, if you come here and we can help you earn money, it's just like when guys declare for the pros early.
Yeah.
That's big for those college teams. They go, hey, if you want a career, if you want to make it in the NFL or the NBA, well, this is the place to do it. And we don't get all 4 years out of you, then so be it.
Yeah.
Same with programs now in college where it's like, look, you want 2 years and then you go make some NIL money?
Yeah.
At least you're doing it. At least you know that this is a great place to do it if you've got that talent and belief.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a strategy that a lot of these coaches can employ. But then you think
then you
about,
also want the Stephen Littles.
and you can also, like, you can now include in that story when you're talking to recruits, like, yeah, you can come here, you can get recruited to Iowa, or look at how you performed once you went to Iowa. You did better at Little Rock. Maybe you should have stayed, So you got
undeniable.
You want the story working both ways. Hey, you want to come here for a couple years, get your NIL money up, go somewhere else, or you want to stay here and maybe accomplish your goals. I don't know. So
you can't.
I'm just thinking about what story I would be telling if I was that. If I was Coach Ayersman, that's what it would be.
Yep. And you talk to the recruit and you see where they're coming from too. If they're bringing up NIL a lot, then maybe you kind of do the one narrative where you go, well, look, we still want you.
Yep.
But if that's your goal, we can help with that. Mm-hmm. And then, but maybe if they're just like, all I care about is winning, they'll go, well, look at Stephen Little. Mm-hmm. 3-time All-American. This guy hit the ground running at our program with our partners, with our coaching.
Yeah. Walk Star Records. Hold on. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. BD 8687 saying PJ Duke beast mode for third. Yeah, he did. He was very dominant.
I think PJ Duke only knows beast mode.
Yeah.
He was clearly disappointed with how that Rabadou match went. And I get it, and we've talked about it, and I don't think we need to cover it much more here except to point out that, it's devastating when you think you have the winning takedown, then you got to pace around, and then there it is, third place for Stephen Little.
Man, what a beast. I love that he's so fired up for third.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun at the All-Star Classic, too. Just in that, he just loves wrestling. You talk to him after the match. He's just, right after the interview, he's talking to the coaches, all right, wait, what did he do? I didn't have him there, but this happened.
Dude, you know what I love, too, is, you need places like Union County, Kentucky, producing good wrestlers. You need schools like Little Rock.
He's also Union County with the Rainies.
Yep.
So we knew the Rainies, or he knows them. Or do they not overlap enough?
I think
they're too little.
I think this is his third year in college, or third year competing, but his fourth year in college, so he did not overlap. But
right. Probably heard of him.
I'm sure they know each other, yeah. But, well, actually, wait, would they? No, I don't think they would. Yeah, this is their fourth. Yeah, so
maybe he attended one of the middle school matches that the Rainies would have.
Well, the Rainies both won state titles in middle school, so they would have been on the same team.
It would have been, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was teammates with the Rainies when they were in middle school and winning state titles in Kentucky.
And wrestling each other in assembly days.
Yeah. Jordan and Jaden Rainey, if you guys don't know, Union County, Kentucky, between the two of them, they won 11 state titles. Jordan won 6, 7th through 12th grade. Jaden won 5, 8th through 12th grade. Well, so, yeah, they would have been.
He was slack in his 7th grade year. Okay.
Well, I think he couldn't beat his brother.
They were both 103 or whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, pretty incredible stuff. Stephen Little got it done. And now, look at this. Doug Villaro Award winners. Mm-hmm. Tagadali.
No surprise that the Doug Villaro Memorial Award is to whoever is on the mat the last. Mm-hmm. Whoever is keeping everybody in the gym watching. Or the arena, if you will. Look at the number of people watching the Doug Villaro Award winners.
I love it.
That's impressive. If you go to one of the mats that are over and you look at that broadcast, they got the high arena view.
And these people got a little over 5 hours to just kind of relax, get some lunch.
Those views, by the way, is what you get in the upper deck or when you're in the media upper area.
Yeah, if you're an upper decker.
Now look down if you're an upper decker guy at that mat. You're not watching. You can't see the nuance. You can't see the hand fight. You can't see the moves that well. You can just see kind of like if somebody gets a takedown or not. So don't tell me that it's not worth going to the NCAAs because you might get a bad seat in a football stadium.
I would never tell you that.
Don't tell me that, David.
Before we sign off, we got a super chat.
Gadali with the win, by the way.
But Gadali gets the dub. Gadali did the dub. We got a super chat here from Iggy6-00. Today, putting you to the test. Mm-hmm. Do you have a stat for place finishers by high school state? I think you might.
Yeah, JD actually did the legwork on this one, and he put everybody's high school in there. He didn't put where that state is, so I'd have to go in and just kind of
guess.
Yeah, and they would match up to the state 90% of the time, except for the ones, Wyoming Sem. There's a lot of people, Luke Lillidahl is the first guy in the spreadsheet. He's from Missouri. Mm-hmm. But he wrestled in Wyoming Sem for 2 years.
Yes.
Wyoming Sem is in Pennsylvania. He also wrestled in Missouri at CBC.
Well, they're saying high school state, so I think that means the state the high school was in, not...
Correct.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, he also wrestled in 2 different states in high school, so you got to go with the graduating one. True. And this is when everybody likes to quibble and not to get off.
Yeah, so Gabe Arnold... Well, but, Wyoming Sem, they get one from Lillidahl, but they lose one... Pennsylvania loses one from Gabe Arnold, who then went to Iowa City High for his. Yeah. So
it gets hazy, guys. It's not a clear cut thing. So there'll always be arguments to be made.
I'll tell you this, Iggy. We will have every year we have an article that comes out after the NCAA Championships. That's kind of a by the numbers breakdown, all that type of stuff. So be on the lookout for that. We're not going to be able to pull that in right now, mid-watch party.
No, because we're too busy thanking Cliff Keen and signing off and getting lunch.
And, so thank you, Cliff Keen. Thank you to our producer, Nikki, for Andrew Spray.
You can combine our names. We're Spray now.
We're Spray now. For the Sprays, we'll see you in the finals. It's going to be 6:30 Eastern time. Don't miss it. We'll see you back then, chat. Bye-bye.